In this bulletin, Dr. Chone Hawer taken in by police. Illegal travel leads to COVID cases. And Sawani people excited for border opening.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
Good afternoon, Fiji. Former Ministry of Health Dr. Chone Hawer is being questioned in Suva by the Criminal Investigation Department. Police confirms the surgeon is being questioned for allegedly sharing misinformation on the COVID-19 situation. Dr. Hawer was picked up from his residence in Lautoka late last night and transported to Suva. He has, in the recent past, made numerous claims in relation to COVID-19, the vaccine and other issues pertaining to the pandemic. Earlier, Minister for Health Dr. Ephraim Wanganambete had confirmed that Dr. Hawer was not registered and has no authority to be claiming to be a medical practitioner. 2 individuals have tested positive for COVID-19 in Dhumbi settlement, Malolo Island. The Ministry of Health says early investigations reveal that the 2 traveled to Malolo Island from Viti Levu without proper authorization. The 2 individuals are currently isolated. Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James Fong says further details will be provided once investigation is complete. Dr. Fong is again urging all Fijians not to engage in unauthorized travel to and from Viti Levu. All current protocols to regulate domestic movements must be followed to prevent the spread of the virus beyond Viti Levu. A majority of commercial farmers and businesses operating at the Sawani border in Naitasiri are excited about the reopening of borders in Viti Levu. FBC News visited the area this morning and witnessed the plight of Naitasiri farmers who have made so much loss in recent months while doing business at the border. The requirements to lift the containment area borders were recently announced by Prime Minister Murengen Bainimarama. Farmer Malakai Naikara is urging Fijians above the age of 18 to get vaccinated in order to reach the 60% rate as per the government's requirement.
Border closure in Sawani has affected our earnings. However, following safety protocols is paramount if we want borders opening up soon.
Global solidarity is needed to get the current pandemic under control. This is the call made by the World Health Organization earlier this morning. Since the outbreak was declared a public health emergency of international concern by WHO on January 30th, 2020, SARS-CoV has mutated into 4 different variants of concern, 4 variants of interest, with 11 lineages currently being monitored around the world. Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James Fong is also sounding the alarm as Fiji is not out of the woods yet.
At the moment, we know that it seems as if the caseload is getting less, but I have told everybody that we cannot rest or be complacent. Neither should we ever boast that we have gotten over the bad phase.
The Ministry of Health has received over 56,000 AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines from the Japanese government. Ambassador of Japan to Fiji, Kawakami Fumihiro, is confident the successful vaccination of people will build a pathway to re-emergence of livelihoods, an increase in employment and broad economic recovery in Fiji. Health Minister Dr. Ephraim Wanganambete says the vaccines that were delivered through the COVAX facility will enable them to fully vaccinate as many Fijians as possible.
At the moment, we have more than 90% of our population that have been vaccinated with the first dose, and we began the important task of the second dose of vaccination, and at the moment is about 40%. So this will be very useful in our being able to meet our targets in terms of the population, but more importantly in ensuring that our people are fully vaccinated.
The Northern Division has recorded an increase in uncontrolled fires over the past few weeks. Divisional Commissioner Northern Urai Rainima says current dry and windy conditions can make unnecessary burning a hazard if not monitored. It can threaten plantations, power lines and communities. So far this month, the National Fire Authority has received 43 calls relating to grass fires, bushfires, burning of sugarcane fields and sawdust fires. The Senganga Fire Station has had to respond to calls as far as Riketi and Sarawanga in Bua. The National Fire Authority has commenced community awareness on the need to monitor fires to prevent uncontrolled burnings. And to our latest COVID-19 update. For today, Fiji recorded 302 new COVID-19 infections for the period ending at 8 a.m. yesterday. Of the new cases, 148 cases are from the Western Division and 154 cases are from the Central. The Health Ministry also recorded 9 new COVID-19 deaths for the period between 18th and 23rd of August. 4 deaths were reported from the Central Division and 5 deaths were reported from the Western. Fiji has recorded 44,420 cases since April this year. There are now 18,916 active cases with 24,855 recoveries in total. The COVID-19 death toll now stands at 453. The vaccination campaign also continues around the country. As of yesterday, 252 or 93.3% of the population have received their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine. 245,749 or 41.9% have received their second dose. The 5 most vaccinated areas include Ba, Rewa, Nandrongai, and Tasiri, which are now 100% first jabbed. Next is Nandi. Up ahead, Nangasao to guide younger players. Welcome back. Fijiana Sevens captain Rusila Nangasao believes she has a duty to guide the younger players in the squad as they prepare for more opportunities in the future. Nangasao and a few Fijiana members arrived into the capital city this morning after their 14-day mandatory quarantine in Nandi. The skipper says she wants to continue donning the white jersey as she helps guide the younger Fijiana players.
For me right now, just to get them right on board right now, we have opened the door for them, big opportunities in front of us. For them to route now, we want to go back and help out the grass group here in Fiji.
Fiji-born Roy Krishna's ATK Mohan Bagan side emerged as Group D champions after a 1-1 draw against Bashundhara Kings of Bangladesh in the 2021 AFC Cup this morning. Team Fiji Paralympics team was part of the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics Games opening last night. Tavyuni man Yosefo Rakesa was Team Fiji's flag bearer, as they were amongst more than 4,000 athletes from around the world. The Games began with an opening ceremony full of color and celebration, interjected with a touch of poignancy, a concept of "we have wings," which organizers said was intended to raise awareness of the courage of Paralympians. The Games officially began today. However, Fiji's Inosi Matea and Yosefo Rakesa will have their first events on the 30th of this month. Some showers over the southeastern parts and the interior of the larger islands. That's FBC News Now. Join us again for our 1-hour major bulletin at 7 p.m. And be sure to download the FBC app to access the latest in news, sports, and live radio broadcasts from any of our 6 FBC radio stations. You stay safe and have a good afternoon.